Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing so well today. I've been looking forward to doing this sunflower reading for so long, and because we're approaching the new moon and the new moon is the best time to plant seeds of intention, I thought that now would be the best time to do this video. So if this is your first time here, a special hello to you. Hi, I'm Zach. I have a natural psychic ability, and right now I share that gift here on YouTube. If you'd like to book a personal private reading, you can find all of that information down below, or find my email address on this account and email me. In this video, we're going to be looking at the next 30 days. Spirit was incredible, worked very close with me on this reading, and brought through a lot of synchronicity in every single pile. So before you choose, make sure that you do make an effort and ground your energy, because when you ground your energy, it gives us the very best chance at linking up in time and space so that I can pull forward the most useful information. So take a couple deep breaths, maybe light a candle, turn the lights down low, do whatever you need to do to ground your energy. It'll look a little bit different for everyone. And once your energy is grounded, you can choose between one of the four piles here, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, Pile 1. I hope you guys are doing so well today. Everyone who chose the Skyscraper flower. I could not get Demi Lovato's Skyscraper out of my head, so if you guys are interested in singing, that could be right off the bat synchronicity, or a great confirmation that you guys chose the right pile. I just could not, especially if you guys have blonde hair, or in the summer your hair bleaches naturally and you also have curls. I'm just seeing this person who has bright blue eyes or bright green eyes, long flowy hair, with tendrils, especially in the summer. That was just a quick little hello for someone in this reading. Hi. So we're focusing on the next 30 days, and I already have, as you'll know, some cards drawn for you guys. I don't usually draw them ahead of time. I like to draw them on camera, but I'm doing 4 piles today. I usually just do 3, and because the moon is very low, we're under a new moon right now, psychic ability is a little less. So I just wanted to make sure that I am still able to relay some accurate information for you guys. Sorry I'm being so long-winded. I'm already sinking into the space I need to be. So let's look at your next 30 days. So lots of beautiful energy. The overwhelming sense is this idea of being gentle. I just get this idea that pile 1 really needs to be gentle with themselves at this time, and that message is coming from the deer. The deer really talks about being very gentle, and that love and the essence of being gentle and not forceful is able to erode anything in your life, any barrier. The deer, the Native American story with that is there was this monster who was blocking a mountaintop, and that's where deer wanted to go, and that's where other animals in the forest wanted to go, but this monster would literally scare all the animals who tried to pass them to death, until deer came across that monster's path and looked at them with their beautiful eyes, and it is said that the monster just shrank down to the size of an acorn, and the deer just stepped right over and walked on by. And it's that idea. It's something that was very pressing in my personal life about 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. This idea of being more gentle, like moving through the world in a lot more gentle. And now I'm getting the message that pile 1, we want you to focus on your divine feminine energy, regardless of your sex or gender or identity. Divine female energy for the next 30 days. So what does that look like? That talks about being very creative, in tune with yourself, not necessarily pushing forward at this time. There's an essence of being gentle. We want to fill your well, is what I just heard, okay? So there seems to be this idea that you guys have been juggling a lot on your plate, and at least a lot on your mind. I think that you guys have deep-seated desires for self-autonomy, financial independence. I think those are desires of yours, and that is in your future. I definitely see that. I have a bunch of cards pulled off camera too, just to sort of pull and to see who I'm speaking with, and I have the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, followed by Ten of Swords and Nine of Pentacles, but then ultimately the Ace of Pentacles, which is beautiful. So a lot to discuss right now, and there seems to just be this emphasis on being gentle with yourself. We really want you to be in the divine female, which is the energy of being receptive instead of the masculine energy of doing. It's the divine female that seems to be the emphasis. So you guys also have the fifth house of passion, and I love to read the little words out for you guys. I know when I watch readings, I like to read them. It says performance, entertainment, creativity, costume, play, love affairs, joy, pleasure, parties, children, humor, romance, and disco ball. And I love to see that for you guys. It seems the next 30 days, we really want you to be in a place where you can nurture yourself. There's something about not pressing forward at this time, and I'm hearing that some of you who are in this Five of Pentacles moment really desiring more abundance, really desiring a lot more abundance than you've ever experienced, financial independence, even freedom, the ability to go out into the world on your own and have it all. I think that's a desire of yours, and I feel like pressing ahead at this time is just not it. It's just not it, okay? This energy and the whole vibration that I'm feeling for you guys is very soothing. So I think that you could put your attention into birthing new creations, okay? When I see creativity, the ceremony with invocation card, and then birthing a new age, dreaming a new world into being, birthing new creations, I want you guys to focus on art and love. And for some of you, this is the idea of just being gentle with yourself, with how you look in the mirror. We want you to be a little bit more gentle with your reflection, and know that progress in this 3D realm is slow at times, but be gentle with yourself, because when we try to force things into being, what that tells our subconscious is either that we're not ready for it, or that we're not patient, or that we don't feel worthy of it. I say that last bit because the essence of any of the pentacles is the energy of the pentacles, and when I drew this as a final outcome for you guys, it means a gift, but it is the idea that in order to experience abundance, you must feel worthy of abundance, and that in and of itself is a block I feel like you guys are experiencing right now. I see you working very hard, and that could be an indication of why we would be experiencing such beautiful, just kind, gentle, nurturing, filling your well kind of energy. I'm getting the idea that if there's a spell that you guys have been interested in working on, I think that's something that we're calling attention to. If you guys want to build your finances in another way, I think whatever the process, and this is a general reading, so it'll differ for everyone. Whatever the process is that you guys have been going about life right now to build your finances, I feel like right now we want to go about it in a different manner, and I think that is challenging. I think being it more in the divine female, being receptive, being open to energy, simply existing in the vibration of abundance in order to bring opportunity and abundance to you, I think that's a challenge that we're asking Pile 1 to face in the next 30 days. We want you to go about bringing bringing new things into your life. Lots of ideas in this reading about pleasure and joy, and I want to throw some romance cards down because I feel like, and this will, you can interpret this in slightly different lenses, each of you, but I feel like what would be so amazing for you guys, and I'm getting a clairaudient confirmation with the airplane overhead right now, is that a love affair. And again, it's the energy of that. And for others of you, it could be a love affair with yourself. I see you guys pouring a lot of attention in on yourself for this next 30 days, birthing a new age, dreaming a new world into being. This idea of gentleness. Again, so the message I'm getting is like someone who wanted to experience a pregnancy. Right now, it's take your energy off trying to make that happen. You know, being diligent about watching your cycles, being in the right mood. It's like that idea of masculine energy, of forcing it, isn't going to work at this time. We want you to try to go about bringing in this thing loosely, with a little bit of a different focus. Take your energy from trying to force something to happen, because it's creating a bottleneck, is what I just saw. And we want to be a lot more receptive. So if you were in the energy of being receptive, you would be in the energy of saying, it's coming to me. I have this desire, so it is coming. Because the more that you affirm that you don't have it through ways such as loss of rigorous masculine energy of forcing something into being, you know, I gotta show up every single day, gotta put in the hours, gotta do this, gotta put a lot of force and energy, that actually creates a creative block, and it actually pushes away that manifestation. And this is difficult. It's something that I work with too all the time. It's something I absolutely could develop too. Being in the energy of knowing that it's coming for you is going to allow this to unfold naturally. I see this idea of allowing yourself to spend more time instead of on work, to spend more time on, you know, practicing a new way of adorning your hair, doing your makeup, wearing something different, changing up your style. For some of you, this is bringing new color into the house. I'm seeing right now your aura is the energy of pink, light pink, or that color would be very good for you. And light pink is associated with the heart chakra. And so there's an idea right now of compassion, and I'm getting self-compassion is the energy that we're, encouraging you guys to experience over the next 30 days. I think you guys could lose yourself in a creative project, anything to take your mind off, all of this work I see you guys doing. It's going to help free your mind, because when we lock ourselves into a certain way of doing and being, it can block flows of abundance and creativity and all different sources of inspiration. If we limit ourselves to what that might look like, it's the idea that someone can only be so open to experiences. Someone can only have so much energy to work with based on what they've been exposed to. Okay, so what I'm seeing is you guys taking trips to the beach more than you usually would, taking longer showers, taking longer swims, going to the gym for a longer period of time, treating yourself to something more frequently than you normally would within your financial ability. It's the idea of giving yourself love. Your body right now, I'm hearing, needs to feel love. It needs to feel that you are happy with what you have right now, regardless of desires that you still have. Your body right now, I'm hearing, is like, it needs you to literally place your hands on your heart or your arms and just do it gently. There's this emphasis on touch right now, and being very, very gentle. Someone who is in a masculine energy, I don't know why I'm seeing this, it's wash your hands like this, got out all the cracks, la 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 la. But someone who is working with divine female energy would, put the soap on, lather it, watch how the bubbles form, and would touch their hands differently. We need you to touch the way you're interacting with life right now with this same kind of gentle energy in order to get over a creative block for some of you. For others of you, this is simply just something new to experience. We want you guys to have a little bit more of a light-hearted energy and approach to life right now. Again, I'm seeing the idea of looser clothing to allow your body to breathe. Um, I'm just seeing it, like, have you guys ever experimented with sewing? I don't know why this is coming through. Maybe you guys are seamstresses or have always, been interested in, looking into fashion. And I don't do TikTok, but I know that TikTok these days is like very good for people to be exposed to simple projects and how-to projects. I'm getting the idea of you losing yourself into like designing a gown that you wear. Maybe it's like a nightgown. It's again, try to bend this lens to fit into your life. What I'm just seeing though is this idea of flowingness, the idea of like flow, like loose silk, like adorning yourself with things that make you feel beautiful, because it is the feeling of being beautiful right now. It is the feeling of being worthy and acknowledging your divine abilities, skills, talents, loving yourself, romanticizing your life. It is that energy that is necessary at this time, because we all have desires. I have my novel, if I'm going to be real with you guys for a bit, that I've set on the back shelf for a while, just because I have perhaps a little bit too much masculine energy that I'm currently working with too. And it's the idea that desire is still there. It's on the back of my mind at all times. It's always going to be there until I complete it and get it published. But if you pull your mind away and allow yourself to nourish your body and soul in other ways, it's going to free up energy that helps you access new ways of thinking, new inspiration that helps you get from A to B. Right now, it feels like the solutions you're looking for can't manifest because you're thinking about going about entering life, walking through life in a fashion that's kind of closed off from other opportunities and forms of inspiration. So what we want you to do is I literally see you like taking up a painting class, or like just going to a painting Hobby Lobby. I have mixed feelings. I know they don't support gay rights, but they have cheap things. So going and buying, a couple canvases and just experimenting with paint, not even making anything for the sake of it, but losing yourself in the sake of doing a painting. And that's exactly the energy. It's not doing it for the finished painting. That's masculine. It's the energy of painting and losing yourself in the creativity, having a glass of wine, putting on something loose, letting your hair down, tying your hair up, putting on some different music, and just going through the next 30 days in an energy that just fills your well is what I feel like is the most significant thing for pile one. I think, again, we could lose ourselves in some creative project, and instead of going about making money in a way that you show up every single day and you got to put in the hours, try magic. I'm getting an idea of literally trying magic, and the way you access your ability of your focused intention is the way that you treat your body, the way that you treat your soul that's inside the body. The body is just a vessel. And so when we force ourselves through a lot of action and a lot of doing energy, it subconsciously tells ourselves that we're not good enough, because we're always working on something. We always have this desire we're going after. But in order to let your body know that, hey, I love you, thank you for being here, otherwise I wouldn't be able to experience this 3D realm, when you touch your body and like nourish yourself, take care of your hair, adorn yourself in what makes you feel beautiful regardless of beauty standards, it tells your body that you can relax and that you love it and you acknowledge it, that it's there, instead of just always thinking about doing. It's the idea right now we want to expose you to joy and humor and a summer romance. I feel like I got off path from that message, but I think a summer romance would be super fun for pile one. And this is, the main message that I'm getting for your reading. I do want to go in a direction of romance and love. So if that's not your cup of tea, thank you so much for watching. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't pick up on any ideas of romance and love. Okay. So I see someone on the scene already or on your mind. I love to see this. It feels like passion. It feels like lust. Past like past life relationship, you have known each other before. Okay, so I'm getting the idea. Again, look, she's wearing a dress that's flowy and it's the color green. So the colors light pink and green are the two colors that are associated with the heart chakra. And that talks about compassion. And again, it's the idea of self-compassion. And this just looks very sensual and pleasurable, okay? And it looks like Stonehenge behind them. So there's the idea of, again, and I brought this through in a reading last week, this idea of sex magic could be fun for you guys to learn about or experiment with. I'm hearing glamours. You guys could experiment with glamour magic. It's the idea of take your attention off doing life the way you have been and go about it in a slightly sort of like adjacent, obtuse, an angle that you wouldn't normally approach in, because it's going to refill other areas of your life and your body, mind, spirit, soul, and it's going to free up new channels of energy, of inspiration, of just energy in and of itself, of, feel-good chemicals in the body, oxytocin, serotonin. It's going to release new neural pathways. It's going to develop them, is what I see. But I was getting the idea of something flowy and loose, and I really do feel like someone in here would have a lot of fun of just going to like a Joann Fabrics and looking in their fashion fabric section and just doing something very simple. This little slip right here, it's a very simple project. Just look it up. That was that idea of like TikTok, or just you can Google something. And I feel like you guys could just have so much fun losing yourself in a simple project like that. Is the energy that I'm getting. But again, this relationship, I think that there's someone on your mind, and I'm never one to judge if you're already in a relationship. Obviously, it's best to relate to your partner that you have desires to spread out your wings. I'm not saying that you have to, though. I'm always going to give the very middle ground. It's the very best thing that I can do as a tarot reader. And some of you are simply single and feeling a strong connection to someone. And I want to sort of get your mind right there. I think that either you or they have dark hair. Okay. And I just want to draw a few cards to sort of finish out this reading, because again, that main energy definitely came through very strong, but I just think it's always so much fun to get a little hit with these cards. So keep this person in your mind, this someone, and let's see what comes out. Oh my God, I'm screaming. Okay. First kiss. So cute. Okay, so interesting energy here. Okay, so this first one, without communication, there's no relationship. I'm getting the idea that if you've been looking at this person, you have them on your mind, you feel a connection. To me, you feel this connection because you have seen each other in a past life, and that's why you guys are sort of in each other's minds at this time. However, I feel like there's some hesitancy here. One of you is not reaching out for whatever reason. You can always contact me. I do love readings as well. You can find all that information in the description box, because I'm just kind of just trying to touch on something love related, so I don't want to go too in depth, but I do sense this idea that someone's not reaching out, and it's the energy of just not knowing how the other person feels. But you can't know, you can't experience this passion, this lust, if there's no communication, there's no relationship. That stuff to me talks about kink. It talks about, passion and love. It's a very, very synchronistic message. I like that synchronicity. And then first kiss. What is more passionate and joyful and just light-hearted, beautiful, flowy than a first kiss? I honestly get a strong invitation for those of you who actually have, really were like, yeah, I definitely sense that there's some past life karma with this person that I'm thinking about. This specific person that's on my mind. For those of you who are really easily able to identify someone, I'm getting the idea to reach out to them, to have a little bit of confidence and experience, this idea of a summer fling, that makes me feel like this energy really supports this. These cards could go in so many different directions, and this all really does talk about something very, very passionate. So I'm getting a big green light to move forward with confidence and adorn yourself with a glamour even, or maybe even, again, use some glamour magic to attract this person to you. What we want is the idea, the whole theme for pile one is attraction. Instead of going after and domineering and being in like an emperor energy, we want you guys to be in the empress energy. We want you to simply exude the vibration of abundance in order to attract that to you. We want you to be a vibrational match for this. Guys, I really enjoyed your reading. It was very synchronistic and I really liked your energy. Thank you so much for letting me connect with you. If you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Helps me go so far in the land of YouTube, helps other people find these messages too. And until next time, stay divine. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So, hope you guys are doing very well today. I just wanted to let you know, because you guys can see cards have already been drawn. That's not my usual style. We're in a new moon, and when the moon is so low, its psychic ability is, a little reduced, but I'm also doing 4 piles today, and I usually just do 3, and 3 gets me pretty tired, so I wanted to make sure that I could still be highly accurate and relay the most useful information. So I sat in my own quiet space and drew your spread. And got lots of great confirmations with some cards off camera as well as about who you guys are and what you're doing right now. So for this reading, we're going to be focusing on the next 30 days. You could call it a cycle if you wanted to. And love to see this energy. It's very different than pile 1. It's kind of like exactly the opposite. They were really talking about divine female energy, and now we're really talking about divine masculine energy, so very, very different. So what do I see for the focus over the next 30 days? A lot of gusto, lifeblood, power, energy. I see a lot of energy on your side at this time, especially your connection to your higher self. I want you to know that you are being guided by your higher self very, very prevalently in the next 30 days, over the next 30 days. For some of you, I'm hearing that that's actually going to extend beyond just 30 days. You have a very strong connection to your higher self at this time, and I feel like I need to remind a couple of you in here that your higher self always has your best interests in mind. As you go about this 3D experience on Earth in this dimension, your higher self is always there, will always guide you, and I just want you guys to have that little bit of confirmation at this time. So let's start to get into this spread. I already feel like your energy really, really lifting me. Not to say that pile 1 was low energy. It was just in a very, 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 very receptive energy. And now I feel a lot more gusto, which is what you guys are and should embody over the next month. So what I'm seeing is not this idea of being on the back burner anymore or in the back seat. We want you guys to move forward full steam ahead, okay? So again, this is just, it's so different from pile 1. We don't want you sitting quietly. We don't want you to wait for things to come for you. We want you to go after them right now, because energetically you have a lot on your side. The universe seems to be working with you. We're going to start with this 10th house of reputation and read these words off real quickly for you guys. It's career, responsibilities, achievement, competence, fame, notoriety, standing, authority figures, legacy, purpose, pinnacle, the patriarchy, and empire. And I drew some cards off camera just to sort of see who you guys are. And I have first grouping is 4 of swords and 4 of staves, 4 of wands. I don't know why I'm searching for that word. And then you have the emperor and the 10 of pentacles, which is the same. So the 10 of pentacles is the minor arcana version of the emperor. And then we also have the 10 of cups with the 9 of swords. So I just wanted to sort of figure out who I was talking to, and automatically I was like, okay, I'm talking to an emperor. And then the emperor comes out. I was like, that's amazing. So I feel like because there are 3 4s in your spread and 2 10s, oh wow, you also have the 10th house. So there are 3 10s and 3 4s. So some of you guys could be a life path 1 and a Capricorn rising. That's like myself. Others of you could be a life path 4 is what I'm hearing. And these are just great confirmations that you guys chose the right reading. And I shit you not, I just looked over at the clock when I said that, life path 4, and it said 4 minutes and 44 seconds. So there is already a crap ton of synchronicity in this reading. So the message is dynamite, you guys. It's go right now, go full steam ahead. I think right now you're entering the spring of your life. You're entering a period where there's a lot of energy at your disposal. I think you guys have very much been in a period of rest and rejuvenation, and it's really, really filled your vessel. Where pile 1 needed to refill their well, your well is overflowing. You have a lot of energy on your side at this time, and we want you to go forward and build your empire right now. So the wild boar, it talks about confrontation. And so to me, this is tackle your life. This means go after your dream. Make that bread happen. What is your dream? Identify it and go after it, because you're not going to be led wrong right now with your higher self so strongly in sync with you. Nature itself is in sync with you is what I'm getting with the Green Man and synergy. Whatever you seem to be going through right now, whatever you desire, you're being supported. This is a very, very empowering message, unlike any message that I've been pulling over the last couple of months. This one seems to be like, go, full force, full steam ahead. We have full confidence in you. We're very, very proud of you, and we want you to achieve absolutely everything that you desire. Reach for the stars. Anything. What is your dream? What is that desire? Build it, because you can right now. And I get that you guys are able to go forward with such lust of life, with such libido, with such a strong force of masculine energy. Again, you don't have to be male to embody masculine energy. It does not matter sex or gender, anything, any identity. Right now, you guys have really built a solid foundation within yourself to stand tall alone and move forward. For some of you, into the unknown. For others of you, to just climb that career ladder, to reach the pinnacle. Some of you are entrepreneurs and you want your own business. Right now, your guides want you to know, and it is a very strong message. It's really uplifting my energy. We're saying do it because you can. You've identified the right thing. Go after it. This is the biggest green light I've gotten in months, you guys. It doesn't feel like there's anything except a slight bit of anxiety about the future you desire. We'll get to that, because that's just something very small that we'll see. But you guys, like, I asked, like, where are you? And these are the exact same cards to me. It says building solid foundations. Okay, it's amazing. And then I said, tell me a little bit about this person. You got 2 emperors, and that's what I felt from this energy. I mean, that in and of itself is incredibly synchronistic. I was like, okay. We're talking about someone who right now is in their prime of their life, or you're primed for greatness. Something my English teacher would always say when she could see that a student was just like bursting to talk about something. She would say, like, I see you on the edge of your seat, poised for greatness. That's where you guys are right now. I think that you guys have really, really done a lot of work, inner work, to figure out who you are and what you want to do. But others of you have just been improving your health, and we want to comment on that. We're very proud of the fact that you guys have really developed a strong sense of health. You're a lot more rigorous with what you put in your body. You're also developing an extremely good balance between work and play. You recognize when enough is enough and when you just need to stop. And when some days it's about rest and meditation, and you recognize that that's not a weakness, it's actually something that helps empower you. You recognize that if you run the candle at both ends, it's going to burn out your you're not going to have anything to work with. You recognize that there are periods in your life where you fill your well so that you can go the distance in the days to come. But right now, your well is full. It's overflowing. We want you to tackle life. The wild boar says confrontation. Just for a few of you, if there's a conversation that needs to be had, it needs to be had. You need to say something about this conversation. You need to talk to this person. You need to voice for others of you your desire, no matter how big you think that is, no matter how unrealistic you think that is. You have all the energy on your side right now. I don't know where you guys have been doing, what you guys have been doing individually. I just know that all of you have really developed a strong peace of mind and built a very strong foundation to stand on. All we need you to do right now is to continue to move forward and take control of your life. Dare to steer your life in whatever direction you want right now. This message is very clear and very strong. I see a lot of yellow and orange energies, and to me that talks about energy, fiery energy. We want you to move forward. And of course, whenever I see repeated images, that to me talks about a significant message. And when I see empire, the patriarchy, legacy, and career and achievement, and we have literally the card of legacy and literally the card of empire come out as a synchronistic event, I just think that right now anything you want to do is doable because you have a lot of energy on your side. I think that you guys have a very strong idea about what you want, and right now the advice is to go after it. For some of you, this could be simply taking the first step, so building an action plan. For others of you, I feel like you're a little bit further along. I feel like you have been in a period of your life where you are learning about something. To me, this is the idea of embarking and building on something that you set a foundation on, a strong foundation of. Some of you, and again, just use the energy of this, try to fit it into your own life. It's the energy of someone who graduated college or even a master's program, and you are now ready. You have achieved strong foundations in that path, that career path, that lane, and it's time for you to move forward with full confidence in yourself and your ability. For some of you, it's the ability to manifest a desire. For others of you, it's just loosely that idea of manifesting. We're ready for you to achieve great success right now. I think you have really conquered your mind. And right now, the only thing I see you needing to work on, perhaps, is the idea of feeling like you get to have it. To me, when I see that the Ten of Cups is crossed by the Nine of Swords, you feel like it's too good to be true. You feel like this message even is too good to be true because you've been in the energy before of lack or scarcity, and you had to build for such a long time a foundation within and perhaps financially. In order to make proper steps forward, that foundation needed to be laid first. But you're not going to experience the same setbacks anymore because all that inner work you've done and all the material work you've done is in an effort to bring you to the proper place such that you can manifest with ease. For some of you, this is manifestation in an esoteric sense. For others of you, this is manifestation in the ability to bring forward what you desire right now, whatever you want to experience. It's yours. You just need to take the steps to do it. You will always have to drive this cart, is what I'm hearing. But right now, I feel like you have a strong inner motivation to achieve. We just don't want you to be held back by this idea that you're not deserving of it, because in the past, things came slower to you. Things came slower to you again because you needed to build up confidence. You needed to build up stamina. You needed to build up your literal physical health, and you have. So right now, what are you ready for? Passion. Move forward into your life with a lot of gusto, with a lot of drive and willpower. The time right now is for action. Your word is action, pile 2. The time is for action, and you are supported. It isn't the idea anymore of trying to build regardless of feeling tired and fatigued. I sense that your energy is much, much stronger than it has been in the last 10 months. You guys are very different than who you are over a year ago, and this is remarkable. We love to see you doing so much inner work. It's time to start making these dreams materialize. We're having a strong emphasis on abundance, right? I feel like you're entering a period of your life. These next 30 days is going to bring forward abundance. We're moving past the idea of a foundation and bringing forward abundance. A lot of it too. I would not be surprised if you started to see your career, your entrepreneurial aspect, whatever you seem to be building on your own. I would not be surprised to see that just skyrocket over the next 30 days because there's so much working for you. Just again, remember, for some of you, this is the idea of not being able to visualize what you want your future to look like, and that's the only thing that's hindering you. For others of you, it's the idea that you don't feel worthy of it because in the past things have been like a struggle for you and they've come less quickly. But right now, we want you to drop all those ideas of the past because you yourself, again, you're not who you were a year ago. You are way stronger, like a lot stronger than you've ever been. This is mentally, this is smarter as well. I just get the idea that you're a lot more competent right now. You've really developed your skill set and talent. It's time for that to flourish. So keep showing up every single day. That is the energy for you guys right now. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. I get the idea that you're supposed to leapfrog your master. You're supposed to leapfrog your teacher. You're supposed to leapfrog the success of your entire family line. You're here to do something grand, huge. You're here to leave a legacy behind. I'm talking to people who have a lot of gifts, a lot of talents, a little bit of sorting out some mental things in the past. But right now, the only thing holding you back, if there would be something, is the idea of moving forward slowly or the idea of just being tentative. We don't want you to do that. We want bold action. We want you to take bold action in your life to move forward at this time. Bold action could be the idea of quitting your job and starting your own project, starting your own freelance business. That's what is the energy of this. It's you've done all the thinking, you've done all the groundwork. And I am one, if you've been someone on this channel for a while, you know that I'm someone who says, let's build this foundation. Let's have a strong foundation to stand on. You have a lot of strong foundations to stand on. Again, I feel like this is the skill set you've been developing, but this is also your mental faculty. I just get that the idea is that you guys are actually smarter as well. There's something about intelligence and competence at this time, as well as self-confidence. I feel like you guys really do feel empowered at this time in your life, and Spirit right now wants to develop this confidence. They want to shine a light on that for you. They want to put a spotlight on you. Some of you are meant to be famous. Some of you are really meant to experience fame and notoriety in this lifetime. Others of you, the slight different angle of that is a legacy. You're here to leave behind a legacy. This could be the idea of leaving behind a book, a work of art. It's the idea of starting your own business, and that stands the test of time, and it's something that you pass down for generations. You have a lot of power on your side at this time, and to me, it's like the energy of masculine energy doing. That is the energy that is being supported as you move forward through the next 30 days. Where else do I want to take this? This feels pretty succinct. I want to see, my eye is drawn to this. I think that's all the messages, but let's just try to take this a little bit further. Spirit, is there a planet that Pile Venus would love? Okay, I'm just going to read this off for you guys real quick. Beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving, sensuality, luxury, wealth, diplomacy, magnetism, value, pleasure, adornment, adoration, attraction, indulgence, taste, and style. So I was asking for a planet that could help you or assist you, or a planet that was on your side at this time. Venus is the planet. If you guys wanted to study a little bit, Venus is the planet that is on your side at this time. What I get is you viewing yourself as no less than an emperor or an empress, no less than someone who is of royalty is what I'm getting. And honestly, some of you could literally have past lives as royals, and this is something that you already know. But what do I see as, synchronicity? Luxury, wealth, magnetism, sensuality, pleasure, and value. To me, with Venus in the 10th house, you guys are getting a glow up. You guys feel extremely powerful, on top of the world right now. If that's not you, I would be hard pressed. I feel like you might have chosen the wrong pile, because these people that I'm talking to right now are very empowering, and we just want to give you the biggest green light ever. We want you to experience a lot in this next 30 days, and you are going to. It's the idea of adorning yourself in ways that make you feel magnetic, the ways that we want to, if anything, this last little sprinkling of advice is the idea of adorning your outside avatar to resemble who you are and feel like inside. We want you to tackle life, be very confrontational with everything that you desire. And I'm hearing, don't be afraid to ask for the most. Don't be afraid of asking for even more than what you think you're capable of manifesting or doing. We want you to set your eye on that target and know deep within you that it is something you are a vibrational match for, because your vibration has been rising for some time, is what I'm getting. Right now, it is the idea that you have put in so much work. It's time for the reward. There's always a balance in life, and that's what synergy talks to as well. To me, it's like you yourself are this oracle, and we're talking about the synchronistic connection between you and spirit and your higher self. Synchronicity, or not, synergy, sorry. Synergy is the idea of two things coming together that create something much more powerful than individually. For example, the idea of a boar and a fruit tree. There are nut trees especially that have to be digested in order to make the nut and seed soft enough to crack open for that tree to sprout. Without that connection, there wouldn't be the ability for that tree to produce as many offspring. So it feels like the universe is working with you, and that's why you're experiencing a huge boost in your career and in your reputation over the next 30 days. Guys, this is the end of your reading, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always give me a big thumbs up. It helps me go so far in the land of YouTube. It also helps other people find these messages who need to hear them too. And until next time, stay divine. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well. So, I know it looks a little different. Usually I do a live shuffle on camera, except we're under a new moon. And when the moon is so low, psychic ability can sometimes be strained. And for the same reason, that I'm doing 4 piles today, I wanted to just make sure that I didn't exhaust myself and I was able to be of use to you guys, to be of service. I always try to bring through the most accurate information. I just wanted to explain why you guys are seeing cards already, and I also have a bunch of cards pulled off camera too to help me tap into who you guys are. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay. So 2 messages I heard right off the bat, you guys, were trust yourself and this is your destiny. Okay. Now, this message is perhaps more spiritual in nature than either piles 1 or 2. And I see 2 energies in this reading. One is definitely the need to pursue a spiritual path. The other is a message we'll get down the road, and it could be similar. Sorry, you guys, I'm trailing off. I'm dropping immediately into the channeling state. So let's just begin. So 12th house of surrender is a card I drew for you guys, and let's read them off real quick. Subconscious mind, compassion, dreams, karma, forgiveness, baggage, trance states, the unseen, healing, spiritual development, guilt, prayer, Akashic records. So right off the bat, I also see an abundance of green, and green corresponds to the heart chakra. And what I'm seeing is an emphasis on that. So lots of green. So the heart chakra corresponds to compassion, and compassion is right here under the 12th house. And whenever I see 2 messages, that talks about a synchronicity, and it talks to me about a significant message to relay. I think I'm speaking to empaths, and I'm thinking I'm speaking to people who believe in angels, who have spirit guides. I'm talking to people who have spiritual gifts as well. The frog talks about cleansing, and it is often associated with clairvoyance and with people who cleanse houses. You guys might be interested in the paranormal. I think that you guys are clairvoyants, some of you absolutely, and I think that you guys are healers, okay? I drew Temperance and the High Priestess from another deck. You're the first pile that I reached for a second tarot deck to consult with. And your other cards are the King of Cups over the Wheel of Fortune. This message popped out, or these cards popped out when I heard the message, this is your destiny. And you also have the Magician overscoring the Five of Cups, and then the Tower overscoring the Queen of Wands, the Witch of the deck. So Spirit wants to talk to you guys. You know, the theme of this video, this reading, is the next 30 days, and I just heard alchemy and magic, okay? And I'm not surprised. For some reason, it seems to fall that the third pile, the third group, always has a more spiritual message. It's not always the case, but certainly in this group. And I'm here to, I feel like, encourage you guys to pursue this path. Breath. What's that? Talk about breath work. And we use breath work for what? To reach different states, trance states. To me, with the frog here, which is a clairvoyant, I think that you guys, because frogs also can pass into different worlds, I think that you guys have a strong ability to access the Akashic record, to access trance states, to connect with people on the other side. It wouldn't surprise me, now that I'm seeing the angels, if there was a medium in this reading, especially with the High Priestess. If not, you guys are here to be healers, okay? Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And now I'm seeing for the first time that this forest actually has a pond right here in the foreground, and that's exactly where this frog would live. And I see you right here by a pond here as well. Retreating into nature. I think that the message that I'm getting in your energy is deeply spiritual, okay? There is some cleansing that needs to be done at this time. When I see the Magician crossing all this gray energy, the Five of Cups, sorry you guys, I'm just about to sneeze. And of course it went, hold on. And okay. Maybe you guys are having allergies. Are you guys having allergies? You should leave a comment below. I'm getting that sense. So what I see for you guys, what do we want to focus on? The next 30 days, cleansing. Frog talks about cleansing and clearing energy, and I do see some gray energy that needs to be gotten rid of. Gray at times can, however, talk about neutrality and someone who is just in thinking, someone who understands the nuance and the necessity to live in between black and white, which is the usual depiction of the High Priestess. She stands between the pillars and represents the embodiment of someone who is the divine female energy, someone who understands and the necessity of masculine energy as well as the feminine energy. And I see you guys as being people who go between worlds, as being represented by this Temperance card. This is your destiny, you guys, and I'm going to flush out your reading a little bit more, but I sense that a spiritual path is your destiny, okay? You don't trust yourself, though, okay? And I think that you're about to have an epiphany of some sort or a spiritual awakening. I think that you guys could also be going through a spiritual awakening at this time. That would be very symbolic with this Queen of Wands. Cons, that came out. You guys, there's this idea that you don't believe in yourself. You're only looking at the negative side. What could possibly happen if I go down a spiritual path? Is this going to be supported? Is there even something that I can do financially rewarding in this career path? I think right now it's not about trying to look at all the individual puzzle pieces and how they might come together. There's an idea of, seeking faith. There's an idea of faith for your reading. And again, this is a very, very different message for pile 3 than either pile 1 or 2. This one has something to do with getting in touch with spirituality over the next 30 days. It's essential for you guys, and I see you moving towards some karmic instances in your life with the Tower, the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Cups, the High Priestess, Temperance. To have 5 5 major arcana cards come out. This talks about a fated event moving through, and I see right now, you guys, I just need to encourage pile 3 to continue to pursue spirituality, and especially perhaps your clairvoyant abilities. And I want some of you especially to look up scrying. You guys could peer into mirrored surfaces or a bowl of water in order to perceive images. I think that would be necessary. Right now, there's an emphasis on developing a spiritual aspect of yours. So for the next 30 days, we want you guys to experiment with water. You could experiment with healing some ailment of yours with water, or even infusing water with love and trying to heal a loved one of yours. I do think that healing is in your destiny. You know, one message we'll touch on at the very end if we have time is I see for some of you potentially a relationship that's karmic in nature, and you guys are fated to be together, is what I'm getting. But right now, there's healing that needs to be done in order to embark down this spiritual path with confidence, okay? I think that you guys are sensitives. You could be extra sensitive people, and right now, there's this just a strong inkling towards spirituality, but more of a role. Like I see you playing a role in a spiritual community. This would be the idea of a psychic advisor. This would be someone who cleanses land. You could cleanse land or houses of stale energy. That's a big theme. I think we want you to step up into a spiritual role. I'm seeing the idea of where can you guys lead as spiritual people? Where do you need to still develop a talent of yours that you know that you have spiritually? I think that there are so many confirmations of spirituality and gifts in this reading that it's a strong message, you guys. Okay, it's not just like read an esoteric book. It's like develop the actual talent, develop the ability to go between worlds, develop the ability to see the unseen, develop the ability to heal others. Find out where you can find a teacher who can help you develop your ability to heal other people. We don't live in the 1950s. We live in a very advanced world that is perpetually becoming more evolved every day. And right now, you incarnated to be a breath of life for humanity. I'm getting the strong idea that you guys have a gift that you're doubting because you hold some guilt in your mind. This feels like someone who pursued a lot of education and thinks that that experience was wasted, and going after something spiritual in nature seems frivolous or daunting or scary or not supported. And I think that that is a self-limiting belief that could possibly need to be cleansed away. Some of you have a relationship that you need to cleanse yourself of. With the Magician card coming out here, overscoring, a card that talks about grief and depression, we want you to change your black robe of grief and despair into red and white, okay, which talks about purity and libido and passion, okay? We really need you to transform this, and I think that this ability to heal yourself is something you could try. You guys really could try filling water with intention in order to heal something in your body. You could try to identify something in you that needs healing and transmute it. For some of you, this is a mental thing. For others of you, it's a physical thing. I'm going to just tell you this. I don't know why. It's a little embarrassing. I used to have a wart on one of speaking of warts, I used to have a wart on one of my toes. Guys, I tried everything. I tried dry ice 3 times. I didn't try dry ice once. I tried dry ice 3 times, and it did not work. It did nothing. I tried topical things, and, one day, after I had, a spiritual awakening, and after I had gone down this spiritual path for a little bit, after I had gotten several confirmations from psychic advisors about my ability to heal other people, I decided to try something, and you know what? I'm not going to go through that process, but I got rid of the wart in days, you know? Usually, I mean, you can ask I guess you can't really, but my boyfriend's a doctor, and he was flabbergasted. He was the one who was using the dry ice on my toe to try to get rid of this thing that was there for years, and it just would not go away, and I understand why as well. There was a spiritual component as well as a physical component. I was standing improperly, but even once he fixed my hips and my alignment, he's a DO, he's a doctor of osteopathic manipulation, if you guys are curious. And that maybe that's what you guys could do as well. Something about Reiki, something about touch, healing touch, energy healing is something that you guys are doing. And this is where we want to focus your energy over the next 30 days. But what I'm saying is that there's a physical and a spiritual component here that we want to address. Okay, you guys, there's an idea of healing something and to tell yourself a different story if this is something that is difficult for you to do. Here's something very esoteric. If there's something that's on your mind, you guys, if there is something on your mind, something in the past that you can't seem to let go of, you have the ability to transform that by thinking about that, clear your mind, go back to that time in your mind, and rewrite that memory. This is probably for some of you sounds outlandish for those of you who are spiritually developed or who have walked down the path of spirituality for a while. This is just perhaps even new to you. You can go back in your mind and change that episode, change that story, visualize it, make yourself see that person disappear, for example, that really startled you or something. It's the idea that you guys are fully capable of changing this and cutting that energetic cord because it's preventing you and it's causing guilt. It's causing some baggage that needs to be let go of, you guys. This is real and I've done it and it feels liberating, okay? There are many confirmations about this idea of using medicine, the spiritual medicine, to transmute and cleanse away something. And I want you guys to sit in meditation and get your mind to just pick one thing. Pick one thing that really sort of humiliated you, or you can feel it still no matter how many times you've tried to cleanse your energy of it. Go back to your mind, visualize it perfectly, and change the scene. This is very occult. This is very not talked about, and yet it works. I have done it myself, you guys. I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't research and then experiment with it. I feel different. I've done this before and I feel uplifted afterwards. And whenever that same little flash of anxiety tries to come back, because you know those neural pathways take a while to be reformed, when that little burst of like, oh, that episode, or I see that flash of that scene in my mind, it doesn't feel the same way anymore. It doesn't. I feel like I've risen above it completely. It's almost like looking at I don't really know this analogy. I don't feel it anymore. It's just not there. And I really want you guys to experiment with this. I see something that needs to be forgiven and let go of. And I see you doing this in a magical sense. I see you thinking about this past event and changing it because you have the ability, because you were born with spiritual gifts and you are just more capable of, you're just able to do this, okay? There's something I want you guys to take control of in your life. I think it's a grief, it's a depression of some sort, it's a memory that you can't seem to let go of. There are ways that you can do this. You can enter trance states in order to do this. I want you to visualize in your mind that episode and change it. Think about a Dementor. Think about when a giant grizzly bear, okay, comes out. Perhaps that's your biggest fear. It's definitely one of mine. And, you know, Professor Lupin told people to picture something that would make them laugh. And that's literally a cult. Like, it's amazing to see after us studying occultism and spirituality for a couple years, how many things are in the Harry Potter movies and books that are like actual practices of magic and witchcraft. It's really cool. So that idea of a Dementor, you know, picture that grizzly bear turning into a fluffy teddy bear. So every time you think of that, instead you think of a teddy bear, and it doesn't pain you anymore, okay? There's something I want pile 3 to let go of because it's preventing you from accessing your spiritual gifts, okay? And it's preventing you from experiencing what I see as a karmic partner in your life, or a career as a healer, okay? And this wheel right here is supposed to represent the 4 cardinal directions. It talks about witchcraft, okay? It talks about drawing a circle. I think that you guys are witches. I think that you guys have definitely done magic before. Some of you are clairvoyants, okay? And many of you, I think, are psychic, okay? To have the Temperance card and the High Priestess, I'm talking to people who have spiritual gifts, okay? But there's some shocking illumination, and I think it's this idea that I'm trying to relay to you. I want you guys really to picture this thing that happened to you and change that story in your mind and see it completely change, okay? No matter how many times you need to erase that memory, replacing it with new scenery, with new people, with different words exchanged, you have the ability to let that go and never, ever, ever allow that to be on your conscious ever again. Doesn't that word sound amazing? Never. It will never bother you. Clear your mind. I know I'm repeating myself, you guys, but I just feel very strongly about this. Clear your mind, sit in meditation, do whatever you need to do to just get back to that point and change it, because it will happen. And to me, I feel like it unlocks your spiritual ability. I see you guys as being spiritual leaders. The next 30 days are about having confidence in your ability to enact these spiritual gifts, to awaken them, okay? I want you guys to experiment with trance states. Perhaps some of you might want to use marijuana to have a spiritual experience, or psilocybin, anything like that. You don't have to. You can use breath work, okay? There's a strong emphasis on clearing your energy and just literally taking a deep breath with me, like... And for some of you, I just need to let you know that you should breathe in for 5 to 7 counts, hold it for 3, breathe out for 5 to 7 counts. That's very helpful. The point of like holding the breath in is very useful, okay? It's when you teeter-totter into different worlds, right? It's the axis, is what I've read, of being in this reality and perhaps your higher self. Holy cow, you guys are like really connected. Because I always can tell when my body starts to feel funny. I'm definitely going to have to do, and it's not your fault, I'm definitely going to have to smudge the crap out of my aura after this, because you guys are like fascinated by this. I feel like I really feel you guys in this reading. I think that being a healer is in your destiny, okay, you guys? And I'm actually not reading this as a relationship at all anymore, okay? We want you to put yourself first, okay? There's something that needs to be cleansed away. It's a very, very strong message, you guys. And I have full confidence that you guys are here to do spiritual work, okay? You're spiritual healers. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do, pile 3, okay? I do believe that these are the end of your messages, and I really hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, you can always leave me a big thumbs up. It helps me go so far in the land of YouTube, but it also helps other people receive these messages who need to hear them too. And until next time, stay divine. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. It's not often that I do 4 readings in a pile. I just took like a 2-hour break because my voice was failing me. So, starting your reading with fresh eyes, and it is a good thing because it's a very interesting reading. I love the readings so far today. They're all extremely different. I just want to preface this reading by letting you know that this is what you can expect to focus on over the next 30 days. And if you're not new to this channel, you'll see that there are cards already drawn. Well, that is because the moon is in the phase of new, which is, sometimes psychic ability can be cramped a bit. And because I'm doing 4 readings today and 3 usually exhausts me, I wanted to make sure that I could pull these cards out of camera just so I could be in the right headspace to be able to be the best tool to provide the most useful information at this time. I just wanted to let you guys know I also drew a bunch of tarot cards off camera just to give me a better look at where you guys are right now. And it's very interesting. Pile 1 and 2 were opposites, and now I'm seeing pile 3 and 4 as opposites. You guys, I feel like, are at the very beginning of learning about yourself, learning about spirituality, your awakening. I see pile 3 as, someone who should really embody their natural psychic abilities. I see you guys just beginning to figure out spirituality, just beginning to learn about yourself. You guys are very curious about your image right now and who you are. I'm sensing that you guys are also very curious about what you're meant to do in this lifetime and where you're supposed to be. And I know that that is important to you. I know it is the closest thing to your heart right now. But with the messages and the incredible level of synchronicity I was able to draw upon today, things are supposed to be mysterious at this time. And don't worry, we'll try to reach the full extent of this message. And I know you guys really, really are trying to get your head above the clouds right now. But the best advice that I can relay to you right now is to, and it's interesting, decide to be confused. I was in this energy at, a couple times in my life where I just knew that a transition needed to be made. I just lacked the confidence of who I was and what direction I was going in, and making any decision that is not resolute, making a decision right now at this time where you lack confidence is going to be the absolute worst thing you can do. The best thing that you can do, pile 4, is to be confused, to be in this confusion, because eventually the fog will lift, okay? But right now, trying to make a decision is not the right path, because it's going to lead to more confusion if you lack self-confidence in the direction that you're going to, okay? There is a strong emphasis on self-image, and what I look for in my tarot readings is synchronicities, repeating events, and it's remarkable. I think I might actually try drawing cards off camera, because when I'm not forced to, act on camera right away, I just release like amazing synchronicity. So look what we have here, okay? And I'll read all the words for you in a little bit, but self-image, okay? And then we literally have a person looking in the mirror, okay? That's remarkable. And then we have veiled, and then I was like, what is going on? I was so curious, because it seems like the message is just simply confusion at this time about who you are and what you're meant to be. I literally asked for a planet. I've never done that before. I was like, okay, what planet is really working with pile 4? And I drew the numinous, which is the literal name of this specific astrology deck, and it's literally not a planet. It's not the North Node, it's not Mars, it's not the Sun, it's not Saturn, it's not a planet. It is literally the unknown, and what is even more remarkable, it's the unknowable, okay? I think right now you are on the brink of something. Some of you in here already have spiritual gifts and psychic abilities, but they are completely turned off or blocked at this time because of a lack of understanding about who you are and where you come from and what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And I don't say these things to undermine your self-awareness, but there's something that is confused at this time, okay? There's something that needs to be learned at this time, and I think that you need to learn to put yourself first at this time. You need to be able to stand tall alone, okay? Look at this. You have this open doorway. We're exploring the self, and there's all this fog that comes out, and then you literally have, of all of the cards that could come out here, we have fog and veiled. It's all over this reading. It's remarkable. And what's more remarkable is regarding your career and talent and path you're going down right now, it's covered in secrets, the moon. It's covered by the moon. So let's get into this reading a little bit deeper, you guys. So the first house, the self, this is where you're focusing over the next 30 days. We want you to put yourself first no matter what, okay? The turkey talks about giveaway, and it's so remarkable because it breaks down to 3, it breaks down to 4, which is you. You guys are group number 4. You also chose my absolute favorite sunflowers. I've never planted them before, so they're completely unknown to me. I'm very excited to grow them, work with them, and again, it's completely unexpected. I have no clue how how they're going to react. I don't know if I'm going to get this incredible dark red variety, which is what I hope for. But again, I don't know. I've only ever grown the giant mammoth ones before. So very excited about that unknown, right? Now, I think that you guys, there are a couple messages. The strongest one is what I'm going to go with, though, because I do sense psychic ability with this veiled in the mirrors. Okay, I definitely sense that. What's interesting is I actually see a medium. It's a little bit deeper than psychic ability. Everyone has a psychic ability, but the level of unknown here and psychic inclinations seem pretty strong. Okay, I mean, we'll get to more of that. Let's start with the first house, the self. Physical body, outlook, self-image, life philosophy, consciousness, opinions, awakening, self-awareness, arrival, expression, gateway, entry point. Okay? So when I said put yourself on center stage, and I was talking about the turkey, sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked. The turkey, it talks about giveaway, and it talks about self-sacrifice, and what we need to do is break away from other people, the three, and to just become one. Okay? You need to stand tall alone at this time, and I try to not use words like need, okay, because no future is set in stone, but I'm just simply picking up on the energy that is very, very apparent at this time. We need to learn about ourselves. There's something that you're doubting or something that you're trying to make a decision on, a path you want to walk down. It is completely veiled at this time, and this is because it is important that it is unknown at this time, because any decision, anything right now could have you walk off path, and we don't want you to do that anymore. I sense a lot of mystery and confusion at this time. The only thing you can do during those instances is to be still, and if you can't do that, then decide. Take that original advice I had. Decide to be confused. And I know that sounds kind of backwards, but I only give advice if it's something that I've researched or experimented with myself. And again, I'm revealing to you that I have definitely been in periods of my life where I simply didn't know. I knew that I had many talents, many abilities. I'm a gifted horseback rider. I'm a gifted creative writer. And I also have a psychic ability. Those are just a few. And I'm not trying to, what's it called? Tout my own horn or beat my own horn. What is that? Whatever. But it was confusing because I'm like, what the H do I do? And I sense that you are those kind of people too, Pile 4. You have talents, you have abilities, and right now you're like, literally, which one? Literally. Like, where am I supposed to be of service? Like, why am I here? What is going on? What is the meaning of life? I've done everything like I thought I should, and yet I'm yearning for more. I want something else. I don't feel whole. I don't feel complete. This is intentional. It is a catalyst because you're about to go through an awakening, is what I feel like. You're about to realize who you are and what your destiny is. But there is a lot of learning to do at this time, and the best advice I have for you is to experiment, okay? To live your life as if it were a grand experiment, in the same vein of thinking that you should just decide to be confused right now. I want you guys to, it's the best advice I was ever given at grad school, fail as hard as you can, as many times as you can, because that gives you the most incredible perspective. You can't know anything unless you've experienced it firsthand, okay? I get a strong impression of someone who is shrouded right now. And I think mystery is here for a reason. To have this much synchronicity, the mystery is here for a reason. Let's read this numinous card. The unknown, the unknowable, ESP, psychic abilities, the cosmos, universal truth, oneness, source, the unnameable, shadow work, inner knowing, tingling, ghosts, other worlds, space, enigmas, the occult, and intuition. Okay, we have a strong hit on intuition and the occult. ESP, psychic abilities. I see this in your future. But there's something right now that is needed first, and it is to know who you are. It is to know who you are in a much grander sense. I recommend, and this is just my personal opinion, I recommend learning about Ra, the god of one. I think that's very helpful. It's learning about occult things that aren't necessarily about spells, but about how the universe works in and of itself. This is what we want you to focus on for the next 30 days. We want to put you on center stage, you in a much grander sense, you in a oneness sense, you who you are as a person. We want you, another lens would be, we want you to decide what you want your avatar to be like. Regardless of whether or not you want to be on Earth, you are here for a mission. You are here in a 3D vessel. And I know, it is not our favorite place to be, okay? I sense that you guys come from gaseous places. I sense that you guys are not people who like to be here on Earth, but you are here. Remember that you volunteered to come here. You wouldn't come here if you didn't want to. You will never do anything against your will. We have free will. Learning about free will is an important lesson for Pile 4. We want you to realize that you are in a 3D vessel to experience the human experience. We want you to realize that in your 3D vessel, it is not a hindrance. It is something that you should celebrate in this lifetime. I want you guys to start looking at yourself in the mirror with a lot kinder expressions. I want you guys to talk about yourself in a much better way. Even if you don't know what you want to do or where you want to go or who you are, when you self-sabotage yourself by talking down about yourself, it doesn't do anyone a service. And all it does is create more confusion. We need you to develop self-confidence. We need the sunlight to break through and shine in on your soul. Some of you might clearly need to get outside and get some sun on your skin. Some of you could submerge yourself in baths or the ocean to cleanse away energy. We want you to recognize your power. We want you to realize how important you are, because you are important and you came here with very significant gifts. Right now, it is a measure of recognizing who you are in the grand scheme of things, recognizing where you come from in the universe. You could look up soul families, you could look up star seeds. We want you to begin the learning, the research about where you come from. Stop putting people in front of you and thinking that counts as love, thinking that counts as compassion. Stop talking down about yourself, thinking that it makes other people around you feel comfortable. We need you to stop putting yourself down. We need you to stop pushing forward right now to figure out what you're meant to do, because that only creates confusion. And I'm speaking like this because I know exactly where you guys are, and I hated it. I was stuck here in limbo for years. I hated it. The one thing you can do, I'm seeing the devil's snare in Harry Potter. The only thing you can do in Devil's Snare is relax. Otherwise, it would suffocate you. I'm getting the idea of a birthing process, and we don't want you guys to be stillborn. We want you guys to relax. It is the hardest thing to do. Out of all the piles, this is the most difficult message to relay, because I think it is difficult in our 3D realm to relax, to simply be. But that is what we want you to do. That is the biggest message. I don't even feel like I'm in my body right now. This is like the most sincere channeling I think I've ever done. We want you to just relax and be okay with who you are and what you are doing right now, because it's enough. If you knew what you were going to do, you wouldn't be surrounded in this confusion. You would have self-confidence in the ability to move forward, knowing what you want, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for you to get clarity, for the fog to lift, because it always will. The sun will always permeate the fog. It will always lift. Fog never stays around forever, as beautiful as it is, and it is mystical, and there is magic in the fog. Fairies travel only by fog when it is daylight. They travel enshrouded in fog and mystery. There is magic, real magic, in the mystery of what is coming together. You came here because you designed the most incredible life, the most abundant life, because you don't like to be in a 3D vessel. You designed it to be exactly what you think you would enjoy as a 3D vessel, from your gaseous state, from your higher self. You came here because you wanted to experience life in and of itself, because one of the biggest things the universe wants of us is to experience consciousness in and of itself. We want you to realize your power of manifestation, your power as an infinite creator, and the only thing, the gateway to that, is you learning about who you are and what you come from. The gateway is adorning your body, your avatar, recognizing that your body is the most beautiful expression in this incarnation, because you are in a 3D realm. realm. You're on 3D Earth. Regardless of ideas of 4D or 5D consciousness, your vessel is not 4D. Your vessel is 3D. And you need to recognize that adorning your body and making yourself feel beautiful empowers you. Doing small things like changing the way you wear your hair, or shape your facial hair, or the perfume you select, or when you don't even leave the house but you put on an outfit that makes you feel comfortable and beautiful. We need to recognize that there's an idea of understanding who you are and not being, upset about not knowing who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter about the people outside you. You have to stop looking at people outside you and comparing yourself to them, because that's only going to create more confusion. You are not them. You've never had their exact set of experiences, and no one has ever had your exact set of experiences. There is magic in this unknowable right now, okay? And I know that you truly desire to get clarity at this time, and the best thing that I can tell you is to sit still or decide to be confused and allow that to be the case. Do not make a decision, because the second you can say, okay, I'm not doing it, I'm not making a decision about XYZ, where I'm going, who I'm going to be with, what I'm meant to do, I'm just being. When you do that, you stop the block that you have created for yourself in your mind. You stop the block that is blocking your intuition. You say, okay, I hear you. Because all that block is, all that confusion is a message. It is a reflection. It is love from your higher self trying to get you to realize that you're creating a block for yourself so that you can remove the block. It is never something that is meant to discourage you. It's something that we interpret, we misinterpret. But when you can become aware of who you are, when you become self-aware, you realize that if you're not moving in flow, then something is incorrect. Something needs to be learned. There's some element, some ingredient missing, and you just must pause at that time in order for it to come to you. No matter how long it takes, commit to not making a decision, because the beauty in that is you're not forcing it, you're not blocking anymore, and it will come. It will come to you. My throat chakra completely blocked right there, which is the most incredible synchronicity that I can give you. It's a physical synchronicity on a psychic. So what I'm saying is that when you decide to not make a decision, you will move about life differently. And as a result, you will be revealed things. Things will be revealed to you. The fog lifts because you're not putting yourself in a pressure cooker to be someone, to achieve something, to know what you're meant to be or what you're supposed to be doing or how far you're supposed to go. And you are able to let this unbridled drive just relax. We want your mind to relax, especially if you want to be a psychic, especially if you want to do spiritual things in this lifetime. You need to be self-aware first. You must have self-awareness under wraps. And when you can move through life without any concern, it frees you. You will feel different, Pile 4. You will not feel the same as you do and have been for a while now. You will feel relaxed. And as a result, things are coming to you much smoother. New information comes to you. Old information that you couldn't look at, that you couldn't understand because of your present perspective will be revealed. It will be much more clear to you. Things will make much more sense because you won't have this burning sense of purpose, or you won't be looking outside yourself, comparing your success to other people's success, because you can never know what happened behind the curtain. You can never know what is happening in someone else's life. You don't know what they're experiencing. Terrible things could have happened to that person, but they might not show it on the outside. And it's that idea, it's the unknown that is important. It is valuable. It is just as valuable as clarity. And right now you're supposed to be in this big gaseous state. I just see something that is, completely unformed, and in that state, what is it? It's malleable. It can change. You can shape it into different things. Think about clay in a pinch pot. I don't know if you guys have ever done ceramics. Maybe you guys are potters. You like to work with your hands or something like that, artists. But when you have a piece of clay and it's in that stage, where it's moldable, you can continue to shape it and shape it and shape it. But when you take it out of that wrapping, I don't know if you guys know anything about ceramics, but if you're working on a piece of pottery, you have to keep it wet and damp throughout the process, otherwise it'll dry out. So if you keep yourself in that mutable state with the wrappings on, with the wet wrappings on, you're going to be able to shape yourself into absolutely everything, anything you want it to be. Everything will come to light. But if you take off those wrappings and try to force it into being, it'll dry out. The pot will crack. and it will just create confusion and chaos, and it's just not a stable foundation. You can't walk forward in life without that. We have to first figure out who we are, what our talents are, what we love to do, where we feel like we can just breathe and sing and jump with joy. What area of life is that? There is a lot of clarity that is coming to Pile 4 over this next month, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this reading. If you did, you can give me a big thumbs up. It helps me go so far in the land of YouTube, but it also helps other people receive these messages who need to hear them too. And until next time, stay divine.